Hello, this is Eduardo, and today I have a new tutorial for the Angry Birds or crappy Angry Birds that we're making here in App Inventor. Okay, so just before we start, remember that you can follow this tutorial with Thunkable, appybuilder, or MakerOid, okay, or any other server that is based on App Inventor. Well, I was really happy because I saw that a lot of people like this kind of tutorial, okay, and what I like the most about this app is that it's pretty simple, okay, so it's pretty simple and it has a lot of potential. Well, anyway, if you check here in the screen, okay, now I have added a block, okay, a block for the pig. Instead of having a pig that it's quite flying, we have a block, okay, so and we're going to create this block, okay, so well, let me show you what I mean. Let me try to hit this pig. That's it. Every time you hit the pig, so we generate a new block in a random position, okay, and the pig is placed on the top of this kind of block, okay. So I'm not sure if I can hit it over there, but that's it, okay. So if you check, you change and place this, and it's just something really fast, I guess, to make it, okay. So let's start with the tutorial. To follow this tutorial, you need the previous file from the tutorial number 1, okay. So I recommend you go to tutorial number 1, complete the tutorial, and then continue with this one, okay. So, and also don't forget to check my Facebook page and my Patron page, okay, so if you want to support my stuff here in appybuilder or App Inventor or Thunkable. So well, anyway, so we're going to start, and we're going to start with this. So let's open our project, okay. So well, this one is the one that I just did. So and let's open a new project, the project that we saved before. I guess it was this one, okay. So I can open the checkpoint. Let me check if it's like this. Okay, and let's reset the connection. Let's check the blocks. Yeah, everything is okay here. So everything, it is like we set it before. So this is when we finished the previous tutorial. So these are the things that we have. The only thing that you need, okay, and I will share it in the description, but it's not necessary because you can make it really easily, okay. It is this block, okay. I create a square in Inkscape. You can use any other software. I just create a block, added the color, okay, and then I just import it. Yes, for example, I can use another color here just to do that. I will use this one, and I am going to export this. So you export it where you have your files. For example, I have it here, block pig. I'm going to just overwrite this file, and that's it. You have your block. I set it to 128 times 128 pixels, okay. So this is very important. So you have your block, and when you have your block, then you have to go and you have to upload your block to your project, okay. So I will share with you that. So in my case, I have the previous file. I just have to replace the original. Then you just drag a new sprite from the drawing and animation. You drag a new sprite, you rename it as block pig sprite, okay, block pig sprite. Just leave everything in default, and then you just add the image, the block pig, okay, the block that you just created, and then you just have your huge block over there, and then we are going to start like working. Okay guys, so let's start with this. So as I told you, the first thing that we have to do always, it is to first set the size and then the position, okay. So let's start like duplicating this for the pig sprite. Let's duplicate pig sprite width and then pig sprite height. Then we're going to change this to block pig sprite, then block pig sprite. Now the size, it is the same that we have in the for the bird and for the bird and for the pig. Okay, so we're going to use the same size. That's why I'm just copying the bird sprite width. Remember that it's a square. So, and that's it. Let me just make this thing smaller. And we're going to reset, to connect again companion. So let's reduce this to show you what is happening here. So I hope it's quite visible. So let's reduce this a little bit, just like this. And then we're going to go here to my cell phone, my tablet. And then we're going to open companion. So we open companion and we connect as usual. It's pretty important that you work with companion. I recommend you work with companion instead of the emulator. It's better. So we just write the block here, the code. And then if you did everything I told you, okay? So now if you check, I added, now it has the size of the bird and the pig. Okay, so that it's the thing that we need. Check it, it's okay. Now we need to place it. So for that, we're going to place it around here. Okay, so remember that we're going to use the percentage. So let's duplicate this one for the X of the pig and the Y of the pig. So now we change this to block pig sprite, and then let's see how these things happen. Sorry, double click no. Let me just reduce again this thing. So we're going to move this to the 75% of the width, okay, of the screen. So let's do it to see the result. It is here for the starting position and the Y. We're going to move the Y here, doing this, and it's okay, the same position that we have for the initial bird or the pig. So this is okay. Now just keep in mind something. We don't want to change the Y, okay, for the block, not anymore. Okay, so the Y, it will stay over here. Okay, well, that has to look okay, so that the block, it is over this base. Yes. Now the pig, there is something new with the pig. We need to modify the procedures for the pig position, remember? So now the pig has to start over this box. And as I told you in the previous video, when we have these things, okay, remember sprites has the origin or the position for its position. The origin of its position is in here, in this corner. So this is the position for them. Okay, so this is where they are placed. Okay, based on this coordinate. So now we are going to move. Okay, right now the pig over this guy. So to do that, it's pretty simple. So when we start the game, so we need to set the pig in that position. So how to do that? Well, pretty simple. First, let's just move the blocks pig. We are going to drag them over the pig sprite, because first it is the block and then it's the pig sprite. Okay, so that's the correct order. So we place these guys and that's it. Okay, so now the position for the pig in Y, we are going to do it like this. So here it's the position, so we need to put it over here. So to do that, we need to increase the value of the pig, or we have to use this value that we have in here. So check, if we use the position of the block pig sprite, Let's see what's happening. So let's check it. This is the original. So let's do it. And it is in the same position. So we don't want to have the pig over here. So we want to move it a little bit upwards. To do that, we need to subtract values. Remember? The values, okay, when you get closer to the top, okay, they are like smaller. So we need to subtract the height of the pig minus this position, I guess. So let's go and check it like that. So we go for pig, and then we set it minus, let me check if it is okay. Then we're going to use this block minus the height of the pig. Okay, so we can use this one, duplicate pig height, and then let's do this. Okay, so let's see what's happening, if we are correct. If not, we need to modify, and that's it. It's perfectly placed over there. Now the X, it has to be the same as in the block or the box for the pig. So in this case, we can use this one, duplicate the pig block Y, and change it to X. Now we do it to see, and that's it. And now let's refresh the screen to see if this is working correctly. 21. We refresh the screen. Right now it's not happening. So let's see why. So probably it's a mistake over here. Well, we need to correct these things, okay, also in here. Let's see. Pig. Do it. Yeah, it is not running right now, the procedure. So let's modify the pig position. Okay, let's modify the pig position. So to modify the pig position now, we need to always stay over the box. Okay, block. I should write box, right? But well, let's say the X position of the block, it has to be over there. And for the Y, as I told you, we need to use for the position, we're going to use the block minus, duplicate this one, and we're going to use the Y of the pig, the block, block, or the box. So let's change it to box later. And then minus the pig sprite height. Duplicate this one, and the height of the pig. So watch out with those blocks. That's it. So I guess that's okay. Block pig sprite, X, Y, X, Y. I guess we are almost okay. So block pig sprite. Probably okay. Let me check. We refresh the screen, and then we just wait a little bit, and it's over there. Okay, so now it is perfectly placed. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I showed you that you need to now change the size of the block. So we need to create a new procedure, and let's create it here, procedure. And this procedure, it will be like, let's call it create new big box or block. Box, let's keep it like box. Okay. So now we're going to create this. The first thing that we need to create is the height of this new block. Okay. So to do that, we're going to use a random value. Okay. So, and we're going to set it here. So the size of this thing, okay, of this block or box, the height, sorry, not heading, height, we're going to set it, okay, and we're going to use a random value, so just watch out this, and we're going to use, as I told you, remember, all of these images has the same size in the game, okay, so in the game. So in this case, I want my box to be, for example, 1 time or 2 times or 3 times the original size, okay, so we can use the original size, or we can use the size from another. For example, the bird is going to keep the same size, okay, so we're going to use here this one, speed, no, bird sprite height times a random value. I want my box to be from 1 to, let's say, 4 times the original size, okay, so now let's check it here. Let me just put this thing over here to show you what I mean, and let's just move this thing a little bit. So when I run this procedure, I'm going to change, so let's run it manually here, create new pig box, let's do it, and that's it, it's changing the size, but of course it is not placed correctly, so we need to place it now. So to do that, we're going to modify the Y position. We're going to duplicate this one and we change it to Y. Let's change the Y, and in the Y position we're going to do something really interesting. We need to set, remember, as I told you again, the origin is in here, okay, so we need to move this origin here upwards, okay, so depending on the original position, so we need to move this origin to be in here. So to do that, we are going to subtract, okay, or make a simple, an addition, because we need to increase the value, okay. So check, we're going to do this. You have this block, let's just drag this and let's add this, an addition, and we're going to use, remember the original position for this, it was placed in 72 for the block, okay, so let's duplicate this one, so the original position, that it's 72% of the height of the canvas, and then we are going to multiply this, we're going to use this one that it's over here, we're going to multiply this, okay, this value, the original position, and we're going to multiply, I'm sorry, it's because we drag it, we're going to add, okay, sorry, so, and the bird sprite, okay, so the basic size that we have, or the standard size that we have, and then we are going to subtract. Basically we are just moving the origin, okay, so that's the idea. It looks quite confusing, but it is just like moving the origin, and then this value minus the block, the current block size, because remember that we're going to have now a different block size. Now let's run the procedure, okay, so again let's check the block, so the Y, so the original position, okay, so the original position, so that is the 72% of the height of the canvas, that it's over here, and then we're going to increase the value, okay, plus the height, so to move the origin, then minus the block peak sprite, so the size of this block, okay, so let's see what's happening now. So if we create a new block, that's it. Now let's do again, and that's it. Check, it is creating different sizes, but it keeps the original position, in the base, and it's growing like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I guess that's the maximum, but the pig stays there. Okay, so we need to fix that. Well, now there is another thing. I want my block to move forward or backwards. Okay, well, to appear forward or backward every time we create a new block. So we're going to use another random thing. We duplicate this one, and then we're going to use, let's remove all of these blocks, and then we change this to X. And for this, we're going to use, remember, we are going to use the percent. Okay, so we're going to use the canvas width to move it in the X axis, times, and then we're going to use this, something that we did in the previous tutorial, divided by 100 to make or to get the percentage. And then we just drag 100%. And then we're going to use here from the 60% of the screen to the 88% of the screen to move this thing. So it would be like moving from the 60 more or less like this to this area, to the 88. It's probably over here. Okay, so it's moving in this, in the X axis. Okay, so now let's check it. Let's run the procedure manually again. And then that's it. It's moving this thing. So probably here. Now, yeah, it's okay. And that's it. Always the same position in the base, and you have your dynamic block. Now we need to place the pig every time we have this thing, this new block called. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Remember that we have, when the birds collides, we are not interested in that. Okay, so we are going to create every blocks when we collide with the pig, not when the bird collides with the edge. Okay, so in this case we are going to insert it in here, this procedure, the create new pig box, and we are going to insert it before the position of the pig, because we updated the position of the pig to be over this box. Okay, so that's why we are going to make it like that, in that order. Okay, so remember, so in this part, in the bird sprite collide with the pig, when the bird collides with the pig, we're going to reset the position or create a new block. Okay, so now let's try it. And guys, let me show you, well, at the end of the video, I will show you something really cool. A new version that I'm making for this video, for this game. Check, now we touch, and it's appearing in different positions. Probably you can change the background to make it different, okay, so to give another idea, or to change the bird or something, or to change the pig every time you do that. Okay, different pig. And that's it. I guess that's all for this tutorial. But as I told you, I have a surprise for you. I'm gonna show you something, okay? I was working on this version. Okay, well, this is the normal version. We are throwing the bird. We are throwing the bird, and it's really cool. It's really nice. But there is another option, okay? So I will show you this, okay? So if you stay here until the end of this video, I will show you what I mean, okay? So let's go here to the projects, okay? So that's all for the tutorial, okay? And then I'm gonna show you something that it's really cool. Okay, so let's go to projects, and I'm going to my tutorial number 2. No, it's not this one. I guess it's my tutorial. Yeah, trying new things. So I was trying to experiment things, okay? I was like trying to sleep with an idea, and it looks quite the same, right? But now we are not going to throw the bird. Remember the original game? Well, we are going to simulate some things, okay? Some of the physics from this wonderful game. So check. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So, and this is for next tutorials, okay? Well, I guess for some of the next tutorials. So check. I just going to take my finger here, and then I'm going to drag. And that's it. Check, what a nice thing. Ooh. And of course, if you did it like this, boom. So I was like thinking and thinking and thinking. Believe me, before sleeping, I was like, oh, come on, how can I do it? and I guess it looks pretty cool. Okay, and it is more I guess it feels better than just like throwing the bird, because it's quite difficult throwing the bird. And you can control many things, okay, about this. Okay, so I guess this is the thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, and I hope you're excited about this new tutorial that it's coming in some days, I guess. Okay, so please don't forget to support my Patreon page. Okay, guys, I need you. I really need you. Okay, and also share the videos, okay, with someone who's learning App Inventor. Okay, and I will make this video in Spanish too. Okay, so as soon as I finish this video, I will do it in Spanish for people who like Spanish. Okay, well, my name is Eduardo. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like the video and to share it with friends. Okay, so, well, bye bye. I see you the next time.